What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to love, especially if you're a Toronto Raptors fan. I'm gonna be honest, when talking about this season, the Raptors aren't doing so well, and as a Raptor fan, I simply want to see them in a better situation. And for you Raptor fans out there that are kind of worried, I'm gonna tell you guys this. The Raptors' future could be bright, but it all depends on what they do now. For this video, we're going to be simply answering the question, what's next for the Toronto Raptors? So if you're a big fan, you're going to love this. But quickly before I get on the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It would help with the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Raptors.
Day of the year. It's the greatest day of the year. But, you know, I don't really get into that stuff, and it doesn't bother me because rumors are rumors, and they always do. But when something is said that doesn't verbally come from me, and I haven't said anything like that's when it kind of gets to the point of like, okay, you know, usually it doesn't bother me. I just, you know, clear the air, right? Nothing bothers me when it comes to rumors and talk. And, you know, of course, you know, things are going to be said, things are going to be done, and whatever happens, happens. But if it's more so the, hey, he said this, nah. Did you have me on record saying that? Do you have anybody, you know, I want to know who the source is because the source is me. And, you know, that stuff is where, you know, you kind of defend yourself. I don't really care about it. It's just, you know, defend myself for a quick second. I've seen so many rumors and people said this, that, and the other. I said what I said, and I was on my way back from away from all the media.
From being NBA champions in 2019 to being championship contenders in 2020, the Raptors right now are nowhere near that level this season. The Raptors are struggling a lot this season, and if you look at the standings, they're at a spot where we simply haven't seen them be there over the past few seasons. Over the past 5 seasons, the Raptors have always been one of the most competitive teams in the Eastern Conference. And it's just so tough to say this as a Raptor fan. The Raptors being one of the best teams, the window is slowly closing. When talking about the Raptors' record this season, look at where they are right now. They have a record of 21 wins to 33, and they are currently ranked as the 11th seed in the East. From what it looks like, they could even miss the play-in tournament. And with the Raptors last season being a top 3 seed in the East, it's just so tough to see where they are right now. There are so many questions out there about what the Raptors should do next, whether it's tanking, whether it's still trying to be competitive and make the playoffs. But the first thing we have to answer is, why are they in this situation right now? And I'm gonna simply say this, a big reason why they're in this situation is because of the past offseason and all the moves the Raptors did not do. When talking about 2020 free agency, the Raptors were losing Fred VanVleet, Serge Ibaka, and Marc Gasol. 3 players that were so important on why the Raptors were actually competitive. The Raptors knew they weren't going to pay Marc Gasol. He is an NBA vet, he is getting older, he's not worth a lot of money anymore, but the one player that I believe they should have signed was Serge Ibaka. I believe if the Raptors had Serge Ibaka again, they would simply be in a better situation. Last year, playing for the Raptors, Serge Ibaka was the 6th-man center off the bench, but he was the closing center, averaging about 15.4 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, shooting a career high of 39% at the 3-point line, and shooting a career high of 51% at the field goal percentage. Serge Ibaka was a vital point to their offense and defensive system, especially on their front court. I do believe that if Masai Ujiri invested more time in signing back Serge Ibaka instead of targeting Giannis, the Raptors still would have had Fred, but also a front court leader of Ibaka. Ibaka brings so much to this team. Ibaka is an NBA experienced player. Of course, he's an NBA champion, but what's more important about Ibaka is his vocal leadership and, of course, his emotional factor. Ibaka can literally come off the bench, be a spark plug, but be so efficient that he's basically a starting center. One of the biggest mistakes for the Raptors was not re-signing Serge Ibaka, but of course the Clippers ultimately got him. Kawhi even recruited him. Giving Fred VanVleet a 4-year, $85 million deal was a great thing for Fred. I do believe Fred definitely deserved it. He was a big part of our 2019 NBA championship roster, a big reason why we even won the chip. But the point is, I do believe Masai should have focused more on the front court player, because if we're losing Marc Gasol and Ibaka, our starting and six-man center, the front court is where we have to work on. Signing Aaron Baines wasn't the answer. Of course, there are many more reasons out there of why the Raptors are struggling right now, but losing Serge Ibaka, in my opinion, was a big reason why. They're not as efficient and they're not as strong. But to simply answer the question of what the Raptors should do next, this is the question we Raptor fans have to keep in mind. Should the Raptors tank, or should they go for a rank? This is my new little title. Tanking basically means losing NBA games to get a high NBA draft pick, and rank in my description is basically try to win games, make the NBA playoffs. So before giving you guys my opinion, I want to give you guys two sides of the story, talking about the pros and cons of each category. To talk about tanking first, tanking is a great thing to do when you're an NBA team that knows you're not going to win an NBA championship. If you already know you're going to lose games, tanking is a great idea, as you can potentially get a rookie that could simply be a franchise changer and simply somebody to rebuild with. But with the Raptors right now being the 11th seed, they're actually one game behind on being the 10th seed. If they end up being in the top 10 in the East, they will be given the opportunity to participate in the play-in tournament, which could ultimately land them a playoff spot. If the Raptors were simply at the bottom of the East, where they're literally the worst team, I would say definitely tank. But right now, with their chances of making the playoffs, the play-in, I'm not sure what the real answer is. That's why right now, as Raptor fans, we are truly confused on what we're trying to do. But I do want to say this, during this year's NBA trade deadline, the Raptors ended up trading Norman Powell away, our leading scorer, possibly our best player this season, and that's why I do believe the Raptors are focusing more on the tanking side. They're trying to rebuild, so keep that in mind as well. The Raptors wouldn't have traded Norman Powell, who was a big part of why we actually won games, if they didn't think about tanking and going for a high draft lottery pick. The next thing we have to consider about the Raptors is what should they do about Kyle Lowry when talking about this offseason. Kyle Lowry is going to become a UFA, an unrestricted free agent, which basically means he can sign with anything that he wants. From what Kyle Lowry is stating, somehow, some way, he wants to retire as a Toronto Raptor. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Lowry ultimately re-signs with the Raptors, maybe takes a little pay cut for the Raptors to pay another player. But the point is, Kyle Lowry actually has interest in staying. With Kyle Lowry already having an NBA championship, that's already a big accomplishment. I'm not sure if Lowry wants to focus more on the financial point of view or a championship point of view. So that's the big what if for the Raptors. What are we going to do about Kyle Lowry? Are we going to bring him back or not? With the Raptors already having a lot of front court depth of Fred VanVleet, of course we just got Gary Trent, of course Malachi Flynn is showing us a lot of hope and potential. I'm leaning more on the side where the Raptors don't prioritize re-signing Lowry, and of course, let him go to another championship contender, or simply another team that can pay him. Kyle Lowry has brought so much to the Raptors, I'm so grateful for it, but right now in his ending stages of his career, I do believe playing on a rebuilding team is not a good thing for him. The next question we have to answer is, should we trade Pascal Siakam? When talking about Pascal, he was amazing for us during the NBA championship run in 2019. Pascal Siakam in some way have gotten worse and is currently not living up to our max contract potential. There are so many times this season where Pascal Siakam has gotten on headlines with the Raptors on a bad note. He fought with Nick Nurse, he was suspended due to some locker room issues. The point is, a lot of Raptor fans are questioning if the Raptors are planning on trading Pascal, if we believe he's not going to be our future franchise player. That is definitely a big question. Raptor fans, keep this in mind. The next question we have to answer is, what are we going to do about Gary Trent? We all know Gary Trent is entering free agency as a restricted free agent. We all know this year the Raptors traded Norman Powell for him. In my opinion, that was a big move to say that Gary Trent is going to be a big part of our future. From what Gary Trent is saying, he is so happy to be here. He believes this could be his team going forward. He wants to re-sign here. So the question now is, how much should the Raptors pay him? From what we are hearing, Gary Trent is expecting about $15 million a year from multiple NBA teams. So if the Raptors want to keep Gary Trent, I do believe that's the minimum salary he's looking into. But to simply give you my opinion on what I believe the Raptors should do, I do believe the Raptors should ultimately tank this season. Whatever the Raptors do, they cannot go to the NBA Finals, they cannot go to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Brooklyn Nets, the 76ers, the Bucks, they're just too good this year. The Raptors cannot compete, and that's why I do believe they have to tank and try to get the highest draft possible. There are so many rumors out there that the Raptors are targeting Cade Cunningham, who is one of the most popular college players right now. He's an all-around player that could simply be a rebuilding block for the Raptors. I genuinely believe the Raptors should target him when it comes to tanking. But to simply answer my question, guys, I do believe the Raptors should tank this year. Stop trying to win. Go for a high draft pick in the NBA draft. It's better for your future. Right now, the Raptors must go into a rebuild mode. But ultimately, guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about the Raptors and what's next for their future. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. What do you believe the Raptors should do next? What is the best move for them? Put your thoughts down in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets.